Imagine this: a happy 11-year-old boy in a peaceful African village, suddenly ripped from his family's arms by strangers in the dead of night, chained, shipped across an ocean of nightmares, sold like cattle. Yet somehow, he buys his own freedom and then uses his voice to help end slavery for millions. How does a kidnapped child from Nigeria become one of history's greatest freedom fighters? Stay with me, because the true story of Olaudah Equiano is about to shatter everything you thought you knew about courage, survival, and the unbreakable human spirit.
In 1745, in the beautiful village of Asaka, deep in what is now Nigeria, a boy named Olaudah Equiano was born into a loving Igbo family. His father was a respected elder. The air smelled of fresh yams and blooming flowers. Children ran barefoot through lush green fields, wrestling, swimming in clear streams, listening to elders tell stories under the stars. Olaudah's world was safe, full of laughter, family feasts, and the warm embrace of his mother and older sister. He had no idea that evil lurked just beyond the horizon, waiting to steal his innocence forever.
One ordinary afternoon, while their parents were away working in the fields, Olaudah and his sister were left to watch the house. Two strange men crept in. Before the children could scream, rough hands clamped over their mouths. They were bound with ropes, hearts pounding in terror, dragged into the unknown. The village faded behind them. Olaudah's mind raced with one desperate question: would he ever see his family again? The nightmare had only just begun.
Passed from trader to trader for months, Olaudah and his sister marched barefoot through forests and scorching heat, feet bleeding, bodies exhausted. Then came the cruelest moment. The traders tore them apart. Olaudah watched helplessly as his sister was dragged away, screaming his name. Alone, heartbroken, and surrounded by strangers, a quiet fire of determination began to burn inside the boy. At the coast, Olaudah stared in horror at the giant slave ship. Stripped and chained below deck with hundreds of others, the nightmare exploded. No room to stand, air thick with vomit, waste, and death. People screamed, some leaping into the ocean. Disease and starvation swept through. Young Olaudah lay in filth, praying for death, yet something unbreakable inside him refused to surrender. He survived the unspeakable journey across the Atlantic. After weeks of agony, the ship reached Barbados. Olaudah was auctioned like property, then shipped to Virginia and sold to a British naval officer. Renamed Gustavus Vasa against his will, the boy began sailing the oceans. He secretly learned to read and write. Hope flickered back, but true freedom still felt a lifetime away. Eventually sold to a kind Quaker merchant in Montserrat, Olaudah was allowed to trade on the side. Every spare moment, every extra coin, he saved. Exhausted, discouraged, but never defeated, he counted every shilling. 40 pounds, the exact price of his life. He was determined to buy himself back. In 1766, at just 21 years old, Olaudah stood before his owner and handed over those hard-earned 40 pounds. The papers were signed. The chains fell away. Tears of pure joy streamed down his face. The kidnapped boy from Nigeria had just bought his own freedom. The impossible dream was real. Now free, Equiano sailed the world as a merchant, even reaching the Arctic. But he never forgot the millions still enslaved. In London, he wrote his autobiography, the first by an African, and it became a bestseller. His words opened eyes across Britain and fueled the movement that would end the slave trade. Olaudah didn't just win his freedom, he helped win freedom for millions. Olaudah Equiano passed away in 1797, but his voice still echoes through history.
The boy who bought his freedom proved that courage and hope can break even the heaviest chains. His story reminds every one of us, no matter how dark the night, the human spirit can rise and change the world. If he could do this, what will you do today? Drop a comment with the name of the next hero whose story we should tell. Like, share, subscribe, and never forget Olaudah Equiano.